So again, this one is
Some discourse between two sides, which really there shouldn't be.
yeah, this one kind of stems back to many years ago through furry in general.
This topic pertains to me right now.
Yes. This topic is fursuit poodling.
Why are people arguing over this?
This one kind of goes back to the very beginnings of furry or just kind of any fandoms that you're dressing up, cosplaying in general. They don't want anyone to break the magic.
Maybe if you're around kids and you're like don't want to like scare them, like making it obvious there's a human underneath, but
well, a lot of cons think of it as breaking the magic. They think that you want to be in costume as long as you were out in costume. That's why they have headless lounges. You're supposed to go in there and relax in there and take it off in there.
At the same time, what about health? What about the reason you're fursuiting?
Mm.
If you're fursuiting just to be your character, then partialing is fine, like showing skin. If you're fursuiting to, I don't know, perform for others, then maybe you might want to stick it out and be strong if you can handle it. There's some people with medical conditions that you can't, you have to show skin or else you'll like face serious medical issues.
Yeah, they can overheat real easy. I mean, a lot of people can.
Would you rather be caught being stuck, like showing skin and keep your fursuit in one piece? Or do you want to continue not showing skin and risk having the paramedics cut your fursuit that you spent $4,000+ on?
Well, I mean,
just to save your life.
It could really stem back to just generally people role playing with it, and it breaks everybody's mood, their characters out of their thought process of the role playing is out of it. It could go back to like Disney. I know Disney would probably not allow anybody to take anything off until they're out of sight.
It goes back to health status and what does fursuiting mean to you.
It's also the headless lounges are supposed to be where you're not going to get pictures either. So that one is like if you're poodling or having part of it off that you didn't want people to get pictures of, that would be where you go into the headless lounge. But the topic is really more so, should people be poodling in it? I mean, if that's all they can afford.
Yeah, if they want to poodle,
and they don't want to cover their whole bodies with clothes, they want their arms showing.
If they can't handle the heat.
Well, they say, a lot of people just say that it looks kind of like a bobblehead if you're using some other than a suit with it.
It's better than nothing.
Well, yeah, a lot of people can't afford it. Maybe they're buying it one piece at a time. They're like, oh, I bought the head, I can't afford everything else yet. Well, that's their priority. They know what they're going to do with their finances, and they'll get what they need to get.
And if it's in that sense, that's kind of elitism with like money.
It could be a lot of that. It could be a lot of I got better than you, and you're not as rich as me. You're not as important as me because you don't have a full suit.
That's not what the fandom should be about. It should be about like just creating something that is you.
It's supposed to be very supportive in everything.
Yeah.
But you definitely have the people out there that are trying to start trouble with it.
No.
But really, honestly, I don't see any problem with poodling. I myself enjoy, if I am in a partial of covering my whole self, I'm fine with it. But I don't expect anyone else to do it.
This one, I don't have arm sleeves. I don't have the feet paws. I just have paws, head, tail. So, yeah, you'll see me poodling in this one, but so what?
I mean, at the same time, you could have a sweater on and you could not show any of your arms. But
I do that sometimes, but this time I got lazy. Sometimes.
Or to prove a point for the podcast.
That was not intentional. I just got lazy and I feel like can't talk. Wearing a sweater.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that's just how they're comfortable. It is having a lot of clothing on you, and honestly, people cool down by sweating. So
It's getting
Mhm.
into your character,
Yeah.
basically.
It's tough even when you're in a full suit and you have a giant carpet on you the whole time. I am actually kind of envious when people just go around and look good in a partial, in poodling. They're probably more comfortable than I am in 6 hours having that full suit on the whole time.
Visually, full suits are nicer.
Oh yeah.
Comfortability, partials are nicer. It really depends on whether you care about looks versus comfortability.
But all in all, it's somebody making a big deal out of what somebody else does, what they feel is right for them, what they feel is comfortable, and they
No.
really don't have any right to say anything about it.
Just do what feels good to you. Forget about everybody else.
Yeah, I mean, enjoy you. It's what the fandom's supposed to be for.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, that's about all I have to say about it. What do you think?
Same.
We need to have it disappear off the furry spectrum then.
What?
People worrying about what others do so much.
That's not what the fandom's about, guys.
And poodling's just the very tip of the iceberg of more complaints about everything everyone else does.
Just do what feels right to you.
It's the way life is, I guess, so. And it permeates even into furry. Human nature, I guess,
Probably.
to complain about everything and to worry about what everyone else
Yeah,
does.
I see that even outside of the fandom, so
Yep.
ignore the haters.
Everything in the world is going to be elitism and people trying to tell you what to do.
Ignore the haters and be yourself.
Yep. Do what you want to do.
As long as it's within reason.
Especially in furry. We're supposed to all be here to
Have fun.
have fun and be ourselves and
Not ignore, but escape the world and just make other people happy.
Yep,
Put
have fun with
smiles on
everything.
people's faces, and that includes yourself.
but I think we did pretty well on it, so
Yeah.
yeah. All we have to say about poodling.
Poodles are cute.
Poodles are cute. What about what are the other types of poodles?
Huh?
The breeds, like where people crossbreed them?
I don't know. I know the main breeds according to AKA.
Mm-hmm.
Most of them.
Labradoodle?
Labradoodle.
You gonna make a Labradoodle soon?
No, I was thinking of doing like a Vizsla because I saw the calendar. Of
Then
them.
you can do a poodling of a Labradoodle.
I think it's time to end the podcast.
I think it is. I think we said everything we had to say.
Yes.
Ready to go? We done? Okay. Yay.
Yes.
Yay.